Good morning, Lackamas Leopards. I hope that you've had a great weekend and are ready for a full week. The last few weeks, we've had several different things that have interrupted our schedule. So this week, I know your teachers are excited to get back into our regular routine and make sure that we're back to learning. Now, sometimes I have kids who ask me, Mrs. Mueller, are you a teacher? The answer is yes, I am a teacher. That's what I started in 1988. I started as a first grade teacher. Now, through my teaching career, I've been able to teach kindergarten, first, second, third grade. Then I made a jump to sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. So I have taught kids, and in fact, I did some coaching with kids in high school also, and I taught high schoolers in Poland. So I guess I've taught kids all the way from kindergarten through 12th grade. Teaching for me is what I was meant to do. Now I get to be a principal, which helps support your great teachers. I want you to know that your teachers every year are learning just like you are. And in fact, they're committed to their continued learning. And this year, your teachers are doing a lot of good learning around how to be a great reading teacher, to teach kids how to read. And they're learning some new things. In fact, our kindergarten through second grade teachers, this is the book that they're reading. You can see, look at all my notes. I have little sticky tabs. When I note, I highlight in my notes. I make my little sticky notes. Those are good strategies that I do to make sure that I'm understanding what I'm reading. But before I can read to really understand, I have to learn the science of reading. Your third through fifth grade teachers, this is what they're reading. They're reading called Shift the Balance. What we're learning is more about our brains and how our brains learn to read. Did you know you learn to talk, and talking can come kind of naturally for humans, but reading is a totally different process, and it's a lot harder. We use different parts of our brains that we have to start connecting back and forth. So our teachers are digging in and learning more about this. In fact, the parts that we're learning most about right now are called your phonological awareness. This phonological, do you hear parts of that word? When you start getting in like third, fourth, fifth grade and above, you're going to start learning different parts of words. So listen to the word phonological. There are parts of that word that have meaning. First part, phono. Phono is a Greek part of that word. And where have you heard that before? Maybe phone? It means the sound. And then logical, we know that logical is the meaning and the making of sense to make it logical. So when you take sounds and now you put meaning to them, that's where we start getting our awareness of reading. And so teachers are teaching phonological awareness and phonics. Now, phonics is when you take those sounds that we naturally hear and we develop naturally, and we start applying those letters so that we start becoming readers and decoding. So teachers are doing a lot of work around that. And I hope that in class, you are joining in some activities, maybe that start you just with listening to words and really getting to be great clue finders and detectives, understanding the word parts that you're hearing so that as we're learning to read, we're able to decode as we start moving to the reading. So I'm very excited about this. And I'm really excited because today I get to give out some books to kids who are reading their 2020 reading. Teachers are working hard on making sure that you are developing as readers and using what they're learning about the science of reading to help you be a better reader and a great decoder of words. They're being explicit about what they're going to teach you. And your job is to make sure that you're reading. So 2020 reading, whether you're listening to good books at home or you're reading them on your own, these are my next 2020 winners. So if you hear your name called, come down at a good time for you to my office and you get to pick out a great book for you. So first off, Room 205, Mrs. Clary's room, Elise. Room Mrs. Phelan's room, Abby. In room 232, Sam. In room 233, Madison. Room 133, Mercy. Room 132, Matta. And I'm wondering, it looks like this. So I'm going to get up really close. If that was you, you get to come down for a book. Room 123, Kathleen. Room 122, Nora Martin. Room 1023, Laurel. And room 102, Sam. Kids, let's work hard. Be great decoders, learning all we can about what we're hearing to transfer that to how we are decoding with our reading. Now, next piece I want to talk about is our character trait this month. Our character trait is gratitude. And I have a little challenge that I thought, let's stick along in the language arts section for this challenge with gratitude. Now, gratitude is an act of thankfulness. And I'm challenging you to do a noun and a verb with gratitude. What, Mrs. Mueller? What are you talking about? Well, let's hang with me. A noun. A noun is a person, place, or thing. A verb shows action. So I'm asking you that this week, I want you to think of a noun, a person, a place, and a thing that you are grateful for. And then I want you to think of your verb, your action, to show your gratitude. This might be something like a person. Someone I was really thankful for last week was the Mrs. LaValle, and all she did to bring together that awesome assembly for veterans. An action that I can do is tell her, thank you, Mrs. LaValle, for all you did for this amazing assembly. Maybe I think of a place. One of the places that I love is my home. One way that I can show an action, a gratitude for my home, is I make sure that when I'm home, I just enjoy it. I take good care of it. I make sure it's cleaned up. Another thing, a thing. I have lots of little things, but there are some things that are more precious to me. Some of the things that are precious to me when I'm coming up to Thanksgiving are things maybe that were given to me by my grandmother. And one way that I can show my gratitude for the gift of a platter that my grandmother maybe gave me is to use that. So your challenge for gratitude is to take a noun, a person, place, or thing, think of how you're grateful for them, and what action or verb will you do to show your gratitude. Now today, we are having a safety drill. Every month we have a safety drill. These are our practice opportunities to practice, to make sure that if there ever was a need for us to actually have this drill, we know what to do. So today's safety drill is called a lockdown. Now that sounds like lockdown. What on earth, Mrs. Mueller, a lockdown? What will happen is I will come on right before the drill and I will give you some directions. But what your classroom teacher's job is, and what your job always is follow teacher's directions. That's what you have to do. Follow teacher's directions and be quiet. Not quiet, silent. Your teacher's job is to make sure that all kids are in the classroom. That's our safe space. And that we close our blinds and lock our door. Lockdown. Now, my job is to make sure that I signal everyone. So teachers, when you hear the signal, first thing you want to do is make sure that if there were any kids out in the hallway, you welcome them into your class. Then we lock our doors, we close our blinds, and we wait quietly in our classroom. Now, Miss Nancy and I, we will be coming around to make sure doors were locked, making sure that we didn't miss any or there wasn't one that couldn't be locked. Because again, this is our practice. This is our time to make sure that we can do our drill right. And your job is just to sit silent until there's the clear. Now, sometimes in a lockdown, you might have to sit silent for a while because it might take Miss Nancy and I a while to walk this whole building and check all those doors. Sometimes I might come on over. You may resume in your classrooms and then you'll just continue on with your learning. This one, we're going to practice being quiet while Miss Nancy and I check doors. And then you'll hear a call on that says how we did. I'll let you know if all doors were locked or if maybe we missed a couple, and then we'll resume. So boys and girls, several things today. Our goal this year is to make sure that you become a better reader. Teachers are learning in this week. They have their next check-in with making sure that they've read their chapters, they're ready to discuss and come together as we learn more about our brains and how to be a better teacher for you. You keep reading. Our character trait is gratitude. Let's take the noun and verb challenge. Something to be grateful for, a person, place, or thing. Show in action, a verb. And then today, we'll have our safety drill. Your job, follow teacher's directions. Boys and girls, make it a great week. Be like a leopard, respectful, responsible, safe, and kind.